What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity? I hope you guys are doing well. We've completed both weekends of the Modern Warfare 3 beta, so that means the next time we get the opportunity to play Modern Warfare 3, it'll be when the full game launches in early November. So I'm hoping that we can actually see some change, some improvements to the game between now and then. So what this video is meant to do is be a open letter to Sledgehammer Games. These are my biggest gripes right now. These are my biggest concerns. And honestly, I want it to be an open forum for you guys as well. So leave a comment down below what your biggest concerns are. Again, this isn't meant to insult Sledgehammer Games. This isn't meant to belittle them. This is meant as constructive criticism so that they can improve their game, so that we can have the best Call of Duty game possible. That's all that we want at the end of the day. I want this game to be as good as it possibly can. So let's dive into it. My first biggest gripe that I'll say right off the bat is the spawn system in this game. I know it's been pointed out by many others within this community, but it needs to be fixed ASAP. This needs to be at the top of the Trello board for them. This needs to be priority numero uno. And the reason for this is simple. This is going to help improve the quality of life for your game because, hey, if I'm not spawning next to people and then immediately dying because I'm appearing in their red dot sites, I'm going to have more incentive to play the game. But when you're constantly putting me next to other players, or when your spawn logic puts me in a place that doesn't make any sense relative to where my teammates are, it really takes you out of the experience and makes you not want to play. Again, Modern Warfare 3 needs as many promoters as it possibly can, and having detractors like the spawn system doesn't help people want to play your game. It just makes them kind of want to be like, ew, not this, please, no more Call of Duty. So the spawn system, immediate address right now. And on top of that, I'm probably going to make a more in-depth video ranting about this further, but the servers need some stability work ASAP. A lot of issues. I was getting into a lot of 100 ping plus games, which just should not happen. Maybe that's skill-based matchmaking based. Maybe that's a little bit of a combination of both. But the servers need definite improvement. It's something that I noticed during Modern Warfare 2's life cycle. It's something that I noticed during the Vanguard and Black Ops Cold War life cycles. So it'd be nice if the servers were more stable here in Modern Warfare 3. Now, associated with this is obviously those of you that are playing PC, something that I play as well, packet burst. This has been an ongoing issue in Sledgehammer titles. Vanguard had this problem. Modern Warfare 2 had it, but to a lesser extent. But it was definitely an issue in Sledgehammer's Vanguard title, and we're seeing it here in Modern Warfare 3. This needs to be resolved ASAP. We need to figure out why packet burst is being so common again. It can't happen. It's a detractor for the game. Like I said earlier, you need promoters. You can't continue to have detractors. We need more positivity here in this community, and having things like packet burst, bad connection just doesn't help you. You know what else doesn't help you? Is my favorite gripe about the Call of Duty franchise over the last year and a bit, the UI. The UI is still clanky. It is still junky. It is still slow. It's not optimized. This isn't good enough. And I'm hoping that over course of time here, as Modern Warfare 3 goes through its early life cycle, we do see some gradual changes. We see some gradual improvements. As it stands right now, the menu system is too slow. Call of Duty HQ is too slow. These need to be definite improvements. And honestly, update requiring restart is just so old at this point. It's such a meme, and I'd love to see it fixed. Obviously, I think this is for some type of data file optimization, but I don't know enough to know why every time you update it requires a restart of the game, but it does get frustrating after a while. But that's really, if the game needs it, the game needs it, I understand that. But slow UI menus just doesn't work. A bad UI design doesn't work, and this is something that definitely needs improvement. I'm sorry, it just needs immediate improvement. Now, in the way of gameplay improvements, one of the biggest things that I think needs to change is the footstep levels. This is something that was talked about during the Modern Warfare 2 life cycle, but I think it needs to be addressed here as well. Now, granted, once the full game comes out, I can see the majority of the community gravitating towards the Dead Silence perk in this game and using that as kind of a crutch perk, which is fair, understandable. But I do feel the amount of ambient footstep noise is just over the top, especially for your own teammates. It gets kind of frustrating, especially when you're in a multi-level building and you have people up top, in the middle of you, whatever it might be, below you, and some of them are teammates, some of them are enemies, and you can't quite figure out who's who. Like, even if your teammates' footsteps were completely silent, I think that would be at least an improvement, because then, hey, I can narrow in, this is where the footsteps are coming from. That's an enemy. But there's so many times where I hear footsteps and I'm like, well, I just recently spawned, or oh, I'm in a power position where nobody should be able to spawn behind me from the enemy team. So I'm like, that's got to be a friendly, and it's an enemy. Or there's other times where I hear, somebody coming on my flank and it's like, well, I'm ready to whip and shoot them, and it's a teammate. And it's just like, why? I shouldn't have to have one eye on my player and then have my other eye up at the minimap following my teammates around. I just would like to see the balancing of the footsteps between enemy and friendly be a little bit better. And I think it would just improve the gameplay. Now, outside of that, outside of spawns, outside of footsteps, yeah, I don't like the yelling necessarily from the teammates, but I'll live with that. There's really not much else that needs to be improved from a gameplay side. I actually really like the way the game feels, and it's actually a lot of fun. Now, maybe over time, maybe the more I play, the more frustrated I'll get with certain things. But realistically, as it stands right now, it's not too bad. It's definitely improvement on MW2, but it's not like a vast improvement. Obviously, I'd love a vast improvement, but like this little increment improvement is nice to see. I'm actually looking forward to playing the game, which is nice to have. Obviously, I was a little bored with Weekend 1, but I didn't feel that way with Weekend 2. There was a lot of different modes to play. I could play Ground War. I could play the new 3v3v3 mode, which isn't the best, but it's at least something different, which I was happy that they put into the beta. And then, of course, we have the regular Mosh Pit, which, again, cycles through 5 different maps, pardon me, and 4 different modes, which was, good enough to get me through the weekend and made me a little bit more hopeful for Modern Warfare 3. But these are just some of the changes that I noticed while I played, and maybe I'll find more out once I start playing more MW3 when the game releases. But as it stands right now, I think a lot of the issues, or at least my main concerns, are from a usability standpoint more so than from a gameplay standpoint. And I think if the servers improve, I think if the spawn logic improves, we're set to have a pretty decent year for Call of Duty. Is it going to be great? Not necessarily, but it's going to be better than what we've had in the past. And that's what I think I'm looking the most forward to, is an actual game that's going to provide me with more enjoyment than what I've had in the previous few months, which is nice to have, or previous few titles, I guess I should say. So either way, that's kind of my thoughts on this. And again, I want to open up the floor to you guys. Just hear your thoughts. Do you share some of the same criticisms that I have? Are you not as optimistic about the gameplay as I am? I'd love to hear it down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.